Maximize the value of cost-effective communication, because nobody else can communicate cost effectively as we can, because nobody else has the scale in terms of buying power for national advertising on the television. You know, it's just all of those sorts of things. Take a look. Interestingly, you won't see these companies held up in a marketing textbook as the great companies. These companies are held up in other kinds of textbooks, strategy textbooks, but not the marketing textbook. But I think this is where marketing needs to go if we're going to be competitive in the new world of slower growth, where you have to get where there's going to be intense competition for share, intense competition with low-cost foreign competition, and you've got to be able to offer a better value than the next guy. And the only way you're going to be able to offer a better value than the next guy without accepting lower margin is if you can do it more cost effectively. What do companies do to do that? First is you have to understand what your operational advantages and disadvantages are, both in fulfillment of the product and in acquisition of customers. Second, well, they just didn't come in order, so I'll do the second one. You have to target customer segments to exploit synergies between those operational advantages and customer behaviors. You invest in deep qualitative research to understand not just unmet needs, but also the behaviors that customers engage in to satisfy those needs. Because it's those behaviors that very well you may find that you have an advantage or a disadvantage in changing. A brand name can be a very good advantage. But what most marketers know about their brand name is that in the conjoint study, it gets a weight. It has a value. But why does the damn thing have a value? You know, what is, if it doesn't have a value for any, it has a meaning to the customer. It's used at some point in the purchasing process. Where in that purchasing process is it used? And then what segments or even what other product lines could leverage that same value at that same point in the purchasing process? And finally, don't I have one more there? I think I have one more there. Yes, but it just doesn't come up. And finally, advantage-based marketers invest disproportionately in resources, disproportionate resources in very narrow targeted segments, because the goal is not to try to grow everywhere. All revenue is not good revenue, okay? It's to dominate share. It's to dominate share in those segments that leverage your capabilities into competitive advantages, okay? And when you can do that, then you're in a position to, to basically compete even in very tough markets. As the printing industry was a tough market, retailing was no market that you would have told your kid coming out of MBA that they wanted to go in when Walmart, dominated retailing. Airlines were no market you'd tell your kid they wanted to go in when Southwest began to dominate that. It doesn't have to be a rapidly growing market. It doesn't have to be even a market with unmet needs. It just happens to be a market where you have capabilities that you can leverage to make money. Thank you.